Эй, друзья, всем привет, с вами Никита. И мы бежим на мессу, потому что нас до сих пор шатает. Ой, это нам надо выбросить, это уже конец испорчено. Пища. Оснобай. Развязывать язык, уменьшать стеснительность. Так, красноречие, это алкоголь. Это какая-то... О, может выпьем одну календулу? Хлеб мы выбросим. У нас почти не осталось еды, это плохо. Календулу нам, чтобы избавиться от похмелья. Может, ой, как нас шатает. Это же похмелье, да? Это не... Ой. Ой. А чё, я голый? Вот так-то лучше. Вот тебя, тебя. А это что такое? Шпоры. А тут цепь, кольчуга на ноги, доспех на ноги, кольчуга на тело, доспех на тело. Они, наверное, очень недовольны, да? Все.
Never show up. The swill pup.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Да не, я держусь. Итак, мне надо читать проповедь. Ой, у меня все понижено. Давайте уверенно начнем.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Вот так.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
Что я несу? Давай сурово.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Ничего себе. Давайте еще раз сурово.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
Давайте цитату приведем.
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows. And he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbour one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Мне кажется, мы занимаемся не тем делом. Мы можем неплохо зарабатывать вот этим, да? И как все прошло, не особо понятно. По его лицу тоже не особо понятно.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that Hus.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver tongue.
I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, but he told it nicely.
Нас похвалили, значит, мы сделали все хорошо.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhoff.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Итак, мы возвращаемся в Тальнберг. О, лошадь. Мы еще пьяны немного.
Be a bit more careful. Are you serious?
Найди разбойников Ледечко. Так. Я же могу это немножко подождать, да? Хотя, блин. Тальнберг тут близко. Ой, меня в Ровне не любят. Странно. Ого, Ледечко. Так. Так. Ну, предлагаю сначала нам посмотреть наши навыки. Может, мы подрались неплохо. Ловкость. На ловкость у нас нет. Быстрая атака в 8 нужна. Вы не носите доспех. Проще уклоняться. О, вероятность выкинуть победную. Прикольно. Успешное уклонение снизит боевой дух. Живучесть. Так, мы бегаем быстрее. Минимальный уровень 6. Если мы нормально питаемся, у нас бонус к живучести и к ловкости. Лень, голод, чем угодно. Давайте возьмем вот это и попробуем хорошо питаться. И начать лучше с того, чтобы поесть. Угу. Так, плохо. Не хватает мне еды. Значит, мясник. Предлагаю заглянуть по пути к мяснику. Закупить у него еды. И отправиться в Ледечко. У нас активировано умение. Это хорошо. Хорошо еще, что ледечка рядом с Ротая. А значит, мы можем в скором времени вернуться в наш новый дом. Я хочу купить еды. О, вот и началось похмелье, да? Да. Ну, ничего страшного. Эй, стой. Я поговорить с тобой хочу. Угу. Баранина. Один день хранится. Ну, давайте возьмем десяточку баранины. Платить 7.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Sure. What?
Да-да-да, я хочу с тобой торговаться. Вот так.
Satisfied?
Come now. See now, I knew.
Угу, отлично, мы еще сторговались. Баранина. Ой, баранину готовить типа надо. Черт.
Looking for something around here?
Значит, будем искать по пути костер. Вот в этом лагере должен быть костер. Угу. Приготовим там баранинки. Если найдем костер пораньше, замечательно. Главное это выследить убийц. Отлично. Больше скакать. Станем лучшими во всем. Буду Генрих мастер на все руки. Так. Текстурка не дает нам проехать. Черт. Ну давай. Я знаю, ты можешь. Точка интереса. Где? А я где? А, вот. Сзади. И... Что я тут найду? Болото? Ну и чего? Точка интереса указывает на камни. А, ну открыть. Ух ты. Ну, отлично, теперь валим отсюда. Лесами. Как же я теперь в глаза Терези-то смотреть буду? Пошел, нажрался, как скотина. Какой-то женщиной переспал. Лагерь. Вот, лагерь уже близко. А, в этом же лагере держали нашего доброго друга пана. Приготовить баранину. Угу. 3060. 92. Еще одно есть не буду. Мы на правильном питании. И теперь нас ждет великолепное путешествие в Ледечко. Маркер можно не ставить. Можно просто бежать на букву А. Предлагаю выйти на дорогу. И вот дорога. Даже не так. Вы не выйти не просто на дорогу, а нормально. И попробуй воспользоваться быстрым переходом. Ой, только не через город. Так, не останавливайте меня, не останавливайте меня. О, путник. Давайте изучим путника. А что не так-то? А, ты браконьер.
Be a bit more careful.
Типа выгнал меня, да, из леса? Ну я бегу. Ох уж эти браконьеры-то, а. Лошадь, не дури. Залезай. Так, тут вряд ли ты залезешь. Давай, ты сможешь. 4 ВД лошадь. Ну, чего ты? А, тут дорога есть. Кстати, насчет навыков. А мы же получили не только... Мы еще бой получили, защита. Идеальный блок у нас есть. Отбирает выносливость у противника. Давайте отбирать выносливость у противника. Мы же как раз с щитом бегаем, да. Бой мечом 1. Ага. Стремительными атаками. Левый, нижний. И вперед. А ты? Ого. А, короткий меч, охотничий меч, сабля. У нас длинный меч. Выучить. И надо будет это попрактиковать. Стоп. Это же не все. Навыки. Верховая езда еще не все. Янство. Самое главное. Так, больше пить вина. Ну, это логично, больше пить пива. Привычка пить. От пивной или винной пьяницы, скорее всего, зависит, с кем мы будем пить чаще. Ну, со знатью винишко или не со знатью пивко. Угу. Давайте винишко возьмем. Навык стрельбы из лука по пьяни мне как-то не очень понравился. О, вот тропинка. Так, ковер или лужа? Интересно. Где я? Я как-то криво бегу в ледечко. Давай еще раз. Никого не встречаем. Это хорошо. Может быть и плохо. Дошли до ледечка. Нам надо поспрашивать у местных по поводу вонючки. Кто-то мне подсказывает, что вонючку довольно легко выследить за счет характерного запаха. Припаркуем нашу лошадь вот здесь.
Folk today, not a grain of respect or gratitude.
Рихтерш. Ну, здравствуй. Вонючка.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Do you know him?
Riki. You mean Hinek, the courier's son?
Maybe. Do you know where I might find him?
Well, he's not usually around here. Try asking at his home. But I hope you've got a thick skin. The old courier ain't exactly charming.
Хорошо. Так что ты можешь мне о нем рассказать?
So you know this Hinek. Can you tell me something about him?
Well, not much, I confess. Most of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why's that?
Well, no one with a nose likes spending too much time around tanners. And that Riki keeps bad company. I've never heard a good word said about him.
А его отец?
What can you tell me about the old courier?
He's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
Так. Почему его называют вонючкой?
Why do they call Hinek Riki anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll understand. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough. But not every courier gets cursed with a name like that.
Well, Hinek's nature's no sweeter than his smell.
Договориться с таким будет, скорее всего, непросто. Хорошо, что у меня есть новый меч. Почему у него такая репутация сложилась?
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone, and then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory in Ratai for thieving, and in Neuhof he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies, and they beat up some merchants.
So a bit more than high spirits.
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Так, должен же быть кто-то, кто с ним общается.
Don't tell me there's not a single person who talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches, Adela, I believe she's called.
Вот, это уже что-то. Можно не обязательно идти к его бате, который, судя по отзывам, так себе человек. Буква С. Мы сейчас будем говорить с дамой. Давайте. Ага, умоемся как же. Там, может, умоемся. Ты чё? Вы чё? Я хочу говорить не с тобой, а вот с ней. Вонючка.
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
Да не, ничего подобного.
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
Aye, I've seen him often enough, but I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Вот так ты уж постарайся. Может быть, ты знаешь, где он?
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
Hey, look out!
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Неплохо меня так подвинуло, да? Так. Мы скажем, что мы друг? Давайте вот так. Потому что если бы мы были другом, мы бы, скорее всего, знали, где он, да?
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy to me.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, looters, cumans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not the sort of thing an honest man would do.
But Hinnock doesn't have anything to do with those people.
Oh, really? Then what does he do there? I don't imagine he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you
Oh,
want from
shit.
me. So Hinnock is a bit odd and sometimes he goes off into the woods. So what?
А если мы еще раз?
Where can I find?
I haven't seen him in the village
Does he do that often?
from time...
What the hell does he get?
Давайте скажем, что мы друг.
Look, Hinnock's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he's got to.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms, no. More like hares or other game.
Успеем.
So Hinnock is a poacher. That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
Укрытие.
I need to know more about that hideout.
I really don't know where it is. I only know when he came back, he usually came to see me.
I see.
Как ты узнавала, что он был в лесу?
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talked about what he caught, and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Кому он продавал мясо?
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
For sure.
В каком направлении он шел?
Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, 'cause he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start.
Ладно. Назад. Когда ты видел его
When did you
последний
last
раз?
see him?
A few days ago, he came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He keeps prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Он сказал тем вечером.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it. But he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye. And then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
Деньги.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me, and we could get married and such. All just poppycock.
Искала эти гроши?
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand.
Ага. И где конкретно они лежат?
Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Закончить разговор. У нас есть лопата для этого. Так. Север, запад. Это вот тут, да, должен быть? Давайте поговорим с корчмарем. А потом попробуем выкопать немного деньжат. А, хозяин тут сидит, что ли? А, вот ты стоишь. Ну, продолжаем наше расследование. Вонючка.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinnock.
But ask someone else. I have nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinnock's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
Ага. Давай попробуем поговорить. У нас он 7 плюс 3. Вот так.
I don't give a damn what deals you've been doing together. I won't tell anyone. I just need to know where Riki is. It's urgent.
What have our deals got to do with where he disappeared to?
More than you think. It's likely Riki is hiding out at his poaching lair. And believe me, it wasn't hard to find out who was buying game from him, and it's even easier to go to the castle and tell them. Poaching's a crime, after all.
All right, all right. But give me your word of honor you won't tell anyone about our deal.
You have my word.
Fine. So, what do you want to know?
Про укрытие.
I hear Hinnock has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all.
But
I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
how do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
Ага. Сколько он приносил?
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
Так. И где примерно находится подобная шахта?
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft.
Угу. Мне нужно найти пещеру, которая будет проходить через лагерь дровосеков. Вот. Вот тут есть лагерь дровосеков, а вот тут есть пещера. Значит, сперва мы пойдем наверх. Нет, сперва мы пойдем копать. Где моя лошадь? А, я ее внутри, да, оставил? Ага, вон стоит, ждет меня. Какая хорошая лошадь. Можем ли мы найти лопату? Не сбить его. Мне кажется, они расстраиваются, если их сбивать так на полном ходу. Кузница. Давай-ка оставим вот тут нашу лошадь. Торговка. Мне кажется, в кузнице... Блин. В кузнице могут быть лопаты продавать.
God be with you.
Угу. Да, лопата. 9 монет стоит. Могу тебе продать что-нибудь хорошее? Писак могу продать. А из доспехов ничего. Ладно. Проверить корзину. Я получу 2,8. Нет, я получу чуть побольше.
Sure. Agree?
I'd almost shake on that.
My last op.
Close.
Не хочет.
Very well.
Итак, у нас есть лопата. Она как оружие или как... Как что она? А, вот лопата. Хорошо. Кожевник. Что ты?
Anything else?
Ты типа не хочешь, чтобы я ходил у тебя по участку? Ладно, я уйду. И вернусь. На углу дома, с западной стороны. А я где? Север, запад. Тут же, да? Или вот тут? Ой, поделись с домом еще. Или вот тут? О, мы что-то собрали. Окопник. Но это не тайник. Ромашка. А, блин, окопник это... Блин, окопник это цветок. Что? Еще один окопник. Так, а если вот тут? Листья. Где ты зарыл свой клад? Зарыты под западным углом дома за кожевной мастерской. Даже какой-то сундук уже нашел. Нет, не туалет. Кожевная мастерская вот тут. Логично предположить, что вот этот западный угол это он. Или это в самом доме? Блин, непонятно. Если вы знаете, где мне искать, обязательно оставляйте свои комментарии По этому поводу. Потому что мы пока нифига не нашли. Буква С. Нам в нее. Так, не сбиваем честных людей. Они этому не обрадуются. А, интересно, дорога туда идет? И надо будет сквозь лес идти. Кто-то мне подсказывает, что второе. Тропинка. А по тропинкам лошади бегают так себе. Или по тропинкам Никитка бегает так себе. Вот подсказывает, что второе. Так, ладно, лошадь, отдохни. Уже запыхалась, бедная. Что это у нас здесь? Очень сложно. Я такие вскрывать не умею. Но на карте будем знать. Как-то свободно я бегу по лесу с браконьерами. Как минимум одним точно. Ого. Ой, эй, 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 эй. А! Инвалид. Угу. Похоже, что он там. А знаете что? Я сохранюсь. Спасибо. А я смогу что-то гнать его сам для себя. Вокруг кожи это точно та пещера.
Jesus Christ, what am I to do? Not that I can expect any useful advice from you. At least, you've no more cares.
Need someone to talk to?
Fuck! Don't kill me. I can explain. I won't tell anyone. I swear, I've no one to tell anyway. Just please don't kill me.
I'm not planning to kill you.
You're not one of Runt's men?
No.
Then who are you?
Нам не пришлось драться, это радует. Ага. У нас с тобой есть общий враг.
That's not important. The important thing is we have a common foe.
Considering all the enemies I have, the odds of that are pretty high.
I'm talking about the gang that raided the Neuhof stud farm. I know you were there.
I was, but I've got nothing in common with those bastards.
I'll take your word for it, providing you tell me what you know.
I don't know why you should care. If it keeps my neck out of the noose, I'll spill the beans.
That Neuhof raid of yours didn't turn out quite as planned, did it?
Depends on whose plan you're talking about. We were up to it to grab some loot and bugger off. Only Runt's cutthroats was there to shed blood.
What do you mean, Runt's cutthroats?
There were two gangs there, mine and Runt's. We was only there to steal, but they wanted to slaughter everyone.
But when you realised what they had in mind, you didn't have to go along with it, did you?
But we didn't know nothing, even though we were going to Neuhof. They told us to keep watch on the courtyard while they were cutting the horses' throats. Jesus, that fucking vexed me. Their horses was the most valuable thing there. When I spoke up, though, Runt gave me such a bollocking I knew I'd better keep my mouth shut. And when they said we was going to kill anything that moved, then we knew there was no going back.
Так, твоя банда. Расскажи мне о ней.
That gang of yours, what can you tell me about them?
Don't know what you want to know. There was 4 of us. Me, Timmy, Limpy Lubosh, and Pius Pava. Sometimes we'd rob a place or hold up pilgrims. Never nothing fancy.
I'm sure you did mischief enough. Who led you?
Pius. He was the oldest, and he'd mostly find the jobs for us. Plan them and the like. He got us into that fucking mess in Neuhof, too.
What about the others?
Timmy's strong as an ox, with a brain to match. You got more sense out of a fence post. And Limpy, I've been with him the longest. He's my one and only friend, I suppose.
Так. И кто вас познакомил с этим коротышкой?
Who got your 2 gangs together? You must have made contact somehow, right?
Pius. He comes to us and says he's got this prime job. We're gonna rob a farm, he says. That was a big deal, because mostly we just did small stuff. Hold up on the road now and then, nothing fancy. When they told us how much we could make on it, well, we just couldn't refuse.
So Pius knew them?
I suppose, but I don't know where from. We even got paid up front. I should have known from the start it was too good to be true.
А где эти Пета и Святоши?
Where did the rest of your gang end up?
You saw Limpy, right?
Yes, but he's no use to me now. Tell me where I can find Pius or Timmy.
I don't know nothing about Pius. He vanished in the woods, and I haven't seen him since. Timmy, I reckon, went back to the mill where he works.
Which mill?
The windmill a bit north of Neuhof.
Банда коротышки. Расскажи про их людей.
Did you know any of Runt's people?
Not a one. They didn't talk to us at all. None of their faces was familiar either. The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt, and Pius warned us to watch out for him.
Ты знаешь, где они могут быть?
I don't suppose you know where they got to after the raid.
On the way to Neuhof, Timmy told me he was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
И примерно где это?
Did Timmy tell you where the camp is?
Somewhere in the woods. He didn't say nothing more. Thing is, Timmy's got quite an imagination. But Pius roared at him to shut it, so I reckon there must be something in it.
Понятно, значит, надо искать этого Пета. Нойхов. Опиши налет.
Tell me exactly how the raid went down.
Well, we stormed in from the rear. Runt's people started slaughtering the horses. Jesus, that was bleeding horrible. Meanwhile, me and Limpy had a sniff round the stables to see if we could find anything worth pilfering. And in the end, we got lucky.
What did you find?
Smill, Sir Hanish's groom. I don't know why he was up and what he was doing in the stables, but we took advantage of the situation. Limpy grabs him by the throat and I slapped him round to encourage him to tell us where the money was. Then it all fell apart at the seams. Quicker than you'd believe. Runt comes running up and skewers the groom like a pig for roasting. My jaw dropped. I thought the stuff about killing was just tough talk.
And it wasn't?
No, not in the least.
What happened then?
I'm gaping at Smill, stuck through and through, and I noticed this boy standing at the other end of the stables. The stupid sods pointing at us, jaw hanging down to his knees, saying, "I know you." Runt turns to us and hisses, "Take him down." So me and Lubosh start running, because the lad took to his heels. At the same time, we could hear the noise of the skirmish in the courtyard. We caught up with the boy at the next farmhouse. I knock him to the ground, but he bashes me with some piece of iron so hard my head's ringing like a fucking church bell. Limpy grabs it off him and stands over him with his bodkin in his hand, and I start praying. In the end, Limpy just gives him a kick and says, "Beat it, Ginger." And then Runt shows up at the gate and hollers that we gotta go, so we scarp it.
Вот и рыжий появился. Что было после?
What happened after the raid?
We were waiting for that fool, Timmy. Same place as we met them before, so he'd know where we were, right? Stupid fucking idea. But Pius didn't want to leave him behind. Only when Timmy finally turned up, 2 of Runt's men were dragging him.
There was some difference of opinion.
You could say that, yeah. They started on us right away that we were traitors. They knew we'd let somebody get away, and now we were going to pay for it. They started trying to surround us, and we knew what was coming. But Limpy took his bodkin and let that fucker have it in the belly.
Runt?
One of the others. Timmy broke free from them, and we all took to our heels. Luckily, they were so buggered from the raid, they didn't follow us for long. They just shouted that they'd find us.
И что теперь?
That's all I need to know. So now what do I do with you?
Well?
Да-ка.
Over here! It's up the hill. Shh. Chief, found the cave. Shut up, you'll hear.
Oh, shit. Runs people. We've got to get out of here.
They're too close. We'll never outrun them.
Fuck!
At least they don't know I'm here. The 2 of us can take them by surprise.
No fucking way. I'm gone.
Look here. If you run, they'll catch up with you and kill you. And me too. Together, we stand a better chance.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. I suppose you're right.
Надеюсь, он не предаст нас. Найди тайник вонючкой, задача не выполнена.
What's going on there? Who's that? Well, look what's come crawling out. What's the matter?
Вот, ну конечно.
Show what you're made of.
Так, где наш новый союзник? Опа!
No curva.
Опять бой. Где наш союзник? Твою ж за ногу.
What's the matter? Lost your balls? Missed.
Ох, еще эти танцы, а.
What's that? All right. Now you're
Ну,
dead.
конечно, труп, вас двое. Сволочи.
Hey, what are you up to?
Так.
Hey, who's there? The answer's in my mouth.
Стоит отвлечься на одного, сразу же вторая скотина падает. О, не падает, нападает. Просто. Это было просто. Угу.
Hey, what are you up to? Who's... What have we got here? Entertainment! Great! Come on then. Is that all you've got? You call that combat?
Ого.
All right. right, you win. I surrender.
Волочь. -1. Ого, какие дорогие перчатки и коев. Мед. А мы сидим, отмычка хорошо. Хлебушек. И яблочки. А вон и его дружок.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Ну, меч-то доставай, твою же за ногу. Мужик со щитом, это будет долго.
Is that all you got?
Ну, я готов, давай. Держим блок. По башке нам настучал.
You're done for, fucker.
Сам такой. Ты чё?
I'm over here.
Так, ну я снес ему как-то пол хп. Давай еще раз так же. Угу. Можно было и так. Еще одни дорогущие перчатки. Отмычка. Мед. Повязка пригодится нам. Капюшон. Дорогой. Яблочко и хлебушек. О. Думаю, гнаться за... где-то там их искать смысла нет. Да? Да. Где бы они там по лесу не бегали. Главное, мы справились. Нам говорят, дуй сюда. А мы придем... А мы придем вот сюда. Зачем? Надо лечь спать. Надо как-то раны наши залезать. Ночью идти куда-то вообще плохая идея. У нас здоровья нифига не осталось. Мы оставим вот здесь нашу лошадь, верную лошадь. И узнаем, у корчмаря по поводу ночлега.
God be with you.
Поспать.
Is there somewhere I could sleep here?
All right. For how long?
Одну ночь.
Just the one night?
Sure, but let's see your coin first. These are harsh times.
Угу. 2, да, заплатить?
Here you
Хорошо.
are.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on a cloud it is.
И где моя кровать?
Where do I go to sleep?
That's easy. As soon as you go indoors, at the end of the room on the left, there's a door leading to the chamber. Everything's prepared for you there.
Угу. Видите, какой я крутой? Я не размылся, как девчонка. После первого поражения. Я собрался с силами и дал этим мудакам по шее. Ой, надо съесть. Ага, 91, хорошо. Ну что? Я думаю, мы очень здорово подрались. Здорово провели эту серию. А сейчас поспим, сохранимся. И в следующей серии продолжим наше расследование. Возможно, мы уже найдем этого коротышку. А пока спасибо, что смотрели меня. Если вам понравилось, обязательно подписывайтесь. Ставьте лайки. Тогда вы точно не пропустите новые серии. Спасибо, что смотрели меня. И всем пока.